Falling in Reverse. Johnny's favorite band.
Yeah, it's true.
Never heard of them, correct?
Nah.
Not even at all. Close or even.
Just like Fall Out Boy.
The Will Rock Festival, though. That's a big thing.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
You don't know what I'm talking about at all.
It's that obvious.
So, Falling in Reverse is a band, a popular band, that had to cancel their show because it wasn't that their guitars didn't show up or got burned in the bus. The laptop didn't make it.
No.
And so we find that we're in a fascinating time in American music history, world music history, that the laptop is maybe in the most integral part of the band now for a lot of these bands.
I feel an old man rant coming on for myself.
It's coming. So click like, subscribe.
Hit the bell.
If you want to hear
Don't
Johnny
forget the bell.
rant about being old and angry and cranky the whole time, because we're going to start right now.
I'm going to yell at some clouds. It's going to be great.
Oh, God. That's a good throwback. That was like 2 years ago.
Right.
I think it was about.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
that got us in some
Something like
trouble.
that. Yeah.
That's what we do.
We don't make the memes. We just talk about them. Yeah. Okay.
No, so I know a lot of bands that are using this. Like, even one of my favorite up-and-comers, like the Zach Person band. Like, I love this band. But they are very much like, it's a guitar player and a drummer, and they use lots of triggers that the drummer, I would hate to be the drummer in this band. It's like the worst job.
Well,
because he's playing full drum kit, but then he's also got like trigger all like the sample starts and they're jamming for a minute. Then he's got to start off this thing at the right time thing. And
I mean, that's kind of in a weird way in modern stuff, in modern bands, even the tone of the modern country, that is the role of the drummer, right?
Is that what he's doing?
Always, man. Like, it's almost always the drummer who's, starting the track, starting the click, if there's guide track, if there's...
I thought it was like a techie in the back that was like with his laptop going beep.
I mean,
beep.
if you're a superstar and you have money and guitar techs and
the
drum techs and
Zach
things.
Person band is a superstar.
Well, that's true. In our hearts.
Sort of. They are, maybe.
They should be. They will be. They're on the way.
Yeah, I know. It's neat to watch that arch.
Yeah.
They're almost there.
So maybe the drummer. But I still think there's something about, because the first place I started seeing those things happen were in the worship music realm, right? In Christian music in the churches, and the drummers would have things like kill switches.
Weird.
Right?
What?
Well, because if you got off, it is a disaster. The track's not going to correct to you.
The drummer has a kill switch for what?
So if you it would be like if the track got off, or you got off the click, he had to be able to cut it off.
Okay, so that just makes me so happy. Like, the drummer has ultimate power.
Ultimate power.
Can the drummer turn the guitars off? That'd be the best.
Probably in some bands.
Sorry, John.
The drummer's the MD.
I'm pissed at you today.
Sorry, bro.
Slept with my wife again,
we
did
didn't hear you. We didn't hear you in the main. Sorry.
That's too bad for you, kid.
It's cool. You were in the track.
There's a lot of old man ranting from that all of us can do, and some of us, even the people that use you, sometimes like, God, I wish I wasn't so reliant on this. But we'll get to that in a minute.
Right.
The thing I would say is which I was impressed when I was watching the Zach Person show. I saw 2 of them last week. I think it was last week.
Yep.
Yeah. Saw them play 2 different shows, 2 different nights, 2 different towns.
Yeah.
But that's what you do when you like a band. Because you're stupid. I noticed they had duplicates of everything. They had duplicate guitar amps, duplicate guitars, not exact guitars, because that's boring. But they had 2 guitar amps, 2 sort of bass running amps, and like some duplicate pedals,
just in
case stuff happens. I feel like if you're a band and you're running on your sampling stuff, you have to have a duplicate laptop at this point. That makes
obviously. Hence this rambling video we're doing.
But this one, no, but.
Otherwise, this wouldn't be a thing.
My whole point of the video is more so than just that. Is just the idea that the laptop is an integral part of so many bands' acts now.
Whereas, I mean, it really, 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 really is. I mean, I played with the 2 fairly big-sized Christian artists last week, opening Big Daddy Weave and a guy named Rhett Walker. Both fantastic shows.
What?
Big Daddy Weave.
I think I said Big Gay Weave.
He's maybe the nicest man alive.
Is he actually big?
He is large.
Like Jelly Roll big?
Yes.
Awesome.
And yes.
Awesome. I love that we have Christian rock stars that don't look the standard mold anymore.
That's true.
I really like it. It makes me happy.
In his defense, he's been doing this since 1998.
What's really weird is how long ago that actually is.
I know. It's insane.
God, 98. I'm like, well, a lot of people watching this I wasn't alive then.
But it was interesting watching both those bands because the band I played with, we were just like it was boring. Just the dumb old instruments on the stage. That was all you heard. Weird. I know that's crazy. But both the other two acts were running a lot of stuff, but in very different ways. So like Rhett Walker, just a guitar player and a drummer.
Okay.
Everything was in the track. If they had not been playing, it would have been okay. But they added a lot. Like the drummer added a lot of dynamics. And then like the guitar player would come in and like double the little slide parts or like play solos. Pretty cool. And then the other dude is sometimes playing acoustic, sometimes playing keys, no live bass player. And they did have a sound guy running the track on the side.
Okay.
And it was because, like I happen to know the drummer from Nashville, so I know that he got a call like 2 days before the show. So he wasn't going to run the laptop. You had to do that. You have to have the same band all the time.
How do you feel? Because I used to have like feelings of the mind have changed some over the past, but is it okay that we're sort of living in this world where it's not as much as being played live and a lot of it's being pumped through? Like you might hear bass being pumped through, you might hear background vocals being pumped through. It's weird.
For some reason, like his was very obvious, and so I don't mind that. I hate it when it's like
trying to trick you.
A big band on stage, and all of a sudden I hear a dobro part, but no one's playing a dobro. You know what I mean? Or like all
really
these
funny.
vocal
That'd be
harmonies,
funny.
and they're not real, but the other guys are kind. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of stuff I don't love, right? Like just But hey, this stuff is kind of.
Certain types of music lends itself to where this makes sense.
And he
100%.
fell into that, like the trap drum, the super low drums, the kind of like synthy drums. That's cool,
I
right?
do love, go back to the Zach show, and the
know?
Zach Person show, and I love when the drummer, who again I think is the hardest working drummer in show business right now, but he's doing the triggers, but he's also playing like it's one little pad section with the electric drums and and these weird sounds, and I'm like, whoa. But it's cool to see him actually hit it.
Yeah.
And the sound comes out. I like that more than like when a trigger starts and then there's like a track.
Right.
As much. I'm not in love with the idea of tons of tracks.
I don't
get
love it
why.
either. Right.
It saves money. It saves another player having to be there.
Right.
Less drama. Again, like you're trying to make a living. I get that. And this band does it really well though.
Yeah.
The Zach one.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot where I'm like, where somebody shows up with their laptop and it's just them on the guitar, and then it's a disaster when
the band integrates it and does it well, and you don't feel like it's just karaoke over a track.
Correct.
Like you're adding to it.
That's what I don't want.
That's cool. That's
I've
fine.
seen the karaoke shows.
That's what I hate. Yeah.
And I don't know why I've paid money to see this.
Right. Exactly.
It's just like I can go to open mic.
And sometimes, I have seen it even in large bands where like you could tell the musicians, there's so much in the track, they're sort of disinterested.
God, this is a side note. Zach was because what are you doing? You can just stop playing. Zach was telling me he's doing this show in Europe, or he just finished a European run, I think 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago maybe. Then he came to I don't know, whatever, who knows. But he played his show, and I don't know where it was, Northern Europe. He finished it. It was an early show, I think. They finished the show, and then there was a blues jam after. It was $20 to come see Zach. And he finished the show, and it wasn't a really super well attended show. It was probably in that sort of 80, amount, 80 to 100, who knows?
Sure. Yeah.
And then after that, the blues jam starts, and then there's $20 to play at the blues jam.
Oh,
so
we're doing it wrong.
Ideas for you, Derek.
Crap. Yeah. All right.
No, but it was packed. People were waiting in line to get in, So it was. I just thought that was funny because I'd never heard of like that. I first thing like paying to play at open mic, which is like Blues Jam is the open mic of Blues Jam. It's
Right.
open mic sort of, but you're playing with
Of
other
blues,
people.
yeah,
It's
right.
like it's open.
Same idea. Yeah.
So
it's the same idea.
genre specific unless you end up playing Tom Petty all night.
I don't do that.
You've never done that, I know.
No.
I've seen it happen at Blues Jams before though.
Oh well, yes.
Yeah. Hey, any Chili Peppers? I'm like, what is happening? I love it. Whatever's going on, I think it's fantastic.
There used to be this guy that I loved, and he was great. He would come to blues jams, and he'd ask about like Steely Dan songs. I'd be like, bro, no one knows the Steely Dan song. Like off the top of our head.
Don't get me started on that alone. I think when Gabriel was here the other
band.
week too, like he was like, I think he put Steely Dan on for me, and I just had, I couldn't remember because I know them so little. Because I just can't, somehow I heard it at a young age and it just bothered me so much. I know it's got to be good. Everyone tells me it's good. I just can't get past it.
Everybody's got their thing like that, right? They're like, I just don't get it, or I just don't like it.
It's like some people just don't like avocado, And I get it. It's a weird texture, but it's so good with a little salt and Guacamole is amazing.
It's good for you.
Yeah, it's just great. It's like a super fruit or something.
Apparently,
isn't
it's the good fat. That's what they say. I don't know.
Man, I see.
I don't understand.
The good fat comes just when any pair of yoga pants. Like it's. I'm just saying, like whatever shape, size you are, young ladies out there.
Downhill from here.
No. Yoga pants are God's gift to like humans out there. Like everyone looks great in yoga pants. In particular, if you're bold enough to wear light colored yoga pants, double stitch grundle, Lululemon in particular, spend the extra money. It's worth it.
You've been hanging out with Derek too long.
No, we love
too long.
We love yoga pants. That's the thing. But what were we talking about?
Avocados.
And laptops. And just the whole thing. It spins back and it's just, it goes back to what you were saying earlier and what we were talking about, like definitely have a backup laptop now.
Yeah.
If this is your sound, you cannot just have one because something could happen. The hard drive crashes. I've seen that. Nightmare.
I mean, like the band I was talking about, the middle band, the Red Walker guy. I understand, like they don't have a live bass player, right? Like they're relying a lot on that track. What I hate, I don't know anything about falling in reverse. Literally nothing. But I feel like if you're a full band, like if you got...
They're kind of like a Christian country act.
If you got guitar, multiple, guitars maybe, a singer, a bass player, and a drummer, you should just be able to play.
I would say that too. I feel like you don't... if the idea of not having to use tracks, I like that more, unless it is an integral part of your sound.
I mean, I'm fine with that scenario. Using a track, maybe fine, whatever. I don't love it. It's not my jam, but cool. Use the track. But if the track's not there, you should still. I mean, like people have been making music with a couple guitars, a bass, and a drum kit for.
Or where you're from, like a spoon and a rubber band.
Those little jaw harp things. Yeah.
Is that a jaw harp? Is that what it's called?
I think so.
I love those things. And we just had some. We had like 2 Gaelic Scottish musicians in the shop the other day from Ohio. They were really nice. It was just like I love that there's just like just weird genre specific music just pops in, and they don't use many laptop backing tracks.
Crazy, I know.
That would be cool though if you like pumped in some James Horner playing some Braveheart soundtrack while you're freedom, rah rah.
The backing tracks. I haven't really ran it good yet, but
I would probably not use them just because I'm lazy. It would require me making them,
right?
And then having, I don't know. I just like, I'm not the pedal guy either. So
I hate reading the things online where they're like, every pro band these days you have to have a click and you have to have backing tracks. Like it's just the industry standard. I just kind of hate that.
Yeah, I mean, where everyone's in their in-ears and there's usually a count in for each song. It tells you the name of the song coming up next. Like,
chorus 3, 2, 1. Yeah,
which is. I'd be like, God, that would just throw me out if I'm singing in particular. I'd be like, get out of my head.
It's the guide tracks.
I feel like that's Cortana from Halo, like living in your head. It's icy cool feeling of just like this beautiful AI in there, just like talking to you. I don't want that, especially when she has a 7-year life cycle and she goes past it. She's gonna like sort of have this corruption and maybe destroy the universe as we know it.
Once again, I know nothing about that.
Darn you. One day you'll be in the Haloverse with me. Actually, I'm not going to take you in there. You don't need to go. They got it so off track at some point. Once 343 Studios took over, the story just was like, never mind. Doesn't matter. We're going to have these characters in it now. And when Bungie had it, it was like...
There's like the Flood.
Well, and the Covenant and the Flood. And there's just a great sort of like, it's a 3-party system, of like, humans, the Flood, and the Covenant. But, it was a great thing. Now we have all these other sort of like, things that don't matter.
It all sounds so
things that don't,
so reasonable.
No, it was a great little battle, and like it all came from like the Vang was where the Flood came from. Just a little side note again, if you're like sci-fi deep diving, the Vang is a great book. It's wonderful sort of sci-fi horror.
Okay, that was a pre-Halo thing.
It's Starhammer was like the series, and then the Vang, and then the Vang Battlemaster was the sequel to that. They're not in print anymore. You have to find books they're out there. You can buy them on used copies. I have them in my bathroom I have a library above my toilet. In every bathroom I have pretty much in my house, I think. It's a theme because I just think it's great. So my kid will one day, they'll like, oh, what's this? And they will be like, have nightmares after they read it. It's horrible. Perfect. It makes like death seem like a welcome.
A welcome. Okay, I need to read this then. I have to finish the Mistborn trilogy. I'm in the middle of that right now.
What's that?
It's Brandon Sanderson.
Okay.
Who is awesome. And he has this whole different sections of books, and they're the Cosmere, and they all sort of connect. And
Sci-fi.
It's more like fantasy.
Okay. I like it.
One more fantasy.
So we have seen women naked too, and we talk about these things. It's a disturbing thing. And we're gonna go now. Thanks for joining us.
The trick is you don't let them know about these things till after.
Till well after, like, and hopefully after you've given them your seed.
Yeah,
they're definitely.
If you've had a few
stuck.
kids, they're probably gonna tolerate it after that.
My wife even bought me like a headset so I can play like Hell Let Loose. And so and she's cool because I can turn the volume on the TV all the way down. I'm like talking to these other like, fellow nerds. Great game.
So that was more for her.
No, she doesn't. It's really for me.
So she doesn't have to hear you though.
No, but it's not about that. She thinks it's fun. Like she actually thinks it's neat to sort of watch it a little bit because it's fascinating.
I bet it is fascinating.
You just walk along and all of a sudden you hear the ting and you're dead because like your helmet just got brained.
That's kind of great. I mean, that's
Ting. It's just like
realistic.
Saving Private Ryan sounds. It's that quality. Scary. Or I remember like I was playing the other night. Then we're going. Sorry, Derek. I was playing the other night and I was just walking along and I saw in the distance this tank was like shooting people like way off across the field. And then I was like, I couldn't see him turn. Then I saw the muzzle flash. Then I was dead. But it was great. It was just like
imagine though if that was not
if it was real life,
video game in your real life. That would be terrifying.
That's your death. I mean, like you're just walking along like you can't in the game you can't fight tanks. Like if you're just a non-anti-tank person.
No, I know, but it also
hide.
God, it just points out how insignificant.
Yeah, a tank is a monster.
Yeah, God.
Except for in the war now, man, with the anti-tank stuff's going on now. Horrifying. Can everybody just stop fighting? It's like, I hate watching everybody get blown up over there. It's terrible. Just be nice. Just go back to where you guys came from. Leave everyone alone. Stop being a bully. That's it. We're leaving. Done. Thanks for joining us.
We shall see you next time.
Fare thee well, children.
Yes.
Fare thee well.